You said you like to collaborate, and
Hmm.
musically, you've collaborated with legends. David Bowie, um,
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Trent Reznor. You've performed with before.
Hmm.
Peter Murphy from Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Again, huge names, big legends.
Lots, lots of goths.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yes. Something you want to tell us, man? Are you, you know, are you, you secretly a goth person too?
I don't even know if it's so secretly. I might dress it down, but definitely I got some goth and emo and metal.
Everyone, how you doing? Corey here, and you know me, I'm a late person. I'm up unusually early, at least again for me. So I must be up for something special, or in this case, somebody special. We have another interview with someone that I admire and like very much, and they're going to find out why in a little bit. But I'm here today with Mr. Tunde Adebimpe. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Good. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for being here. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I was so excited when I was told that I had an interview booked with you. This is something you're not going to remember, but I have been following you for years, and I'm talking about in all aspects of your career. Years ago, you played emos here in Austin,
Okay.
and
Sure.
like you were like, sure, I don't remember that, but yeah, but
No,
no, you.
of course. No, we played there a bunch of times. I
Oh
love
yeah.
emos. Yeah.
Well, it was very, very early in the band's career, and at that time, you were so early in your career that I was able to get up and go backstage into the green room, no guards or anything, and tell you how much I admired you and the band and a few other things that we'll talk about. This is like back in
Sure.
2002 or something like that.
Right on.
So, it's just to say that I am very excited to be able to talk to you today. It's like I said, I've been
Yeah.
following you in the band for years. But today we're here to talk about your first of all your solo album,
Hmm.
and
It's
that is the Black Bolts right here. Um, I think this is coming out in a couple of days, right? April 18th.
April 18th. Yes. Yeah.
Uh, you had the video came out for this actually a couple of months ago, though, right?
Sure. There've been two videos now. There was one I want to say last October, for the song Magnetic, which is the one of the lead. I guess it was before the record was announced, so that was just a single. And there was a video called Drop, which was the first
Mm-hmm.
single from the record that I directed both videos. This one was animated. Um, yeah, so there's those two are out right now.
I'm gonna give people a little sample of the video drop, if you don't mind.
No,
Like
sure.
you said, it's animated and it looks very cool. And we're gonna talk about animation with you in a little bit. But this is again
Perfect.
the single drop that is from the new album, The Black Bolt.
Lightning strikes and my mind receives a shock, and my heart beats a spark of revival. Jump so high.
So, is this the first solo album that you've done?
Yeah, this is it.
So,
Um,
what prompted you to go solo?
well, it wasn't really like going solo, as in I'm breaking out like Bobby Brown from New Edition. It was more like I had the time to do it. The band had taken a little bit of a break, so it was just a good time. It was like kind of in 2019, so I actually wanted to take a break from music and just kind of go off and or just get back to some other things that I like doing. Um, but it kind of edged into the pandemic time, so I think it was partially to keep myself busy. Just started looking at old songs that I hadn't really finished up, and yeah, eventually just collected enough that it seemed like this is enough for an album. I don't know who I'm going to bring in to collaborate because I like to collaborate a lot. But there was a strong enough set of demos that it looked like, okay, I could make a record out of this. And since, TV on the radio isn't like functioning right now, I'll just do my own thing and see what happens. And and I ended up making a solo record, which is, I think anyone who's also made a solo record knows that like it's not just them. Like it wasn't just me in a room with a microphone and a sad synthesizer, like doing 12 songs, but I had a lot of help. Yeah.
So you say it was around 2019. Was that pandemic time?
It was right into 2019. The band decided to take a break, which I thought would be, maybe we would do like a year or something and then get back to recording and writing. But then, 2020 is when, the pandemic befell all of us. And suddenly I had a lot more. Both had no time and a lot of time to write.
Yeah.
So I went into it, and finished. I think in pieces. Started 2019 and wrapped up in 2023 with just a few, not really interruptions, but just life things having to do. But I'm glad that we finished it. I'm glad people are going to get to hear it.
Since this is probably going into, since it was going into the pandemic times, in solo albums can be, certain levels of personal. Sometimes people can, do it for just because they just had songs or some creativity in them and just wanted to do it for fun. Some people really had something to get out of their system and something to say. Being that we were going into the pandemic, was this, is there any reflection of that in the album? Is there a lot of personal things in the album?
Yeah, definitely. And some things are more obvious and literal. There's a song on the record that's directly to my sister, who was, the closest person to me. Definitely, in my life at that point, she passed away very suddenly while I was making the record. So there's a song that's definitely to her and kind of helped me, not really make sense of all of that, but just have a place for those thoughts and feelings to land. And in different respects, it was, the band taking a break was kind of a good time, and the pandemic showing up was a good time to kind of reflect on, the band had been going for about 20 years when we took a break. And that's, putting a record out, touring, putting a record out, touring, putting a record out, touring. And I know it's what bands do, but, you also have a quote unquote normal life that's happening in addition to your art life or creative life. And, 2019 was a good time for me to think about, mostly a lot of losses that I'd experienced in that time, like lost a few family members and very close friends, and just went on tour, while that was happening. So it was a good time to land and reflect. And, I feel fortunate enough to have this like an internal mechanism that the way I make sense of any of this is in writing or painting or, making music. So it was nice to have a venue for all of that. Once I realized, I'm making a record, I'm just going to fill this area up, this little box, this mental and, emotional box up with these feelings, and then sort it out and, like weave it into songs. So some of them are more direct and some are just a product of what am I going to do with this time that I have in this mode of thought and feeling.
I really enjoy your music, and I'm looking forward to this album. Like, again, I'm a really big fan of TV on the radio, the band that you have. But I think the way I got into you is it was not originally through TV on the radio, even though, again, the music is great, but you're a very multi-talented person. And the first time that I was introduced to you was in a movie that I still recommend to people to this day. Do you remember the movie that I'm talking about? Know the movie I'm talking about? It's 2001. It was back in 2001 when this was made.
Would it be Jump Tomorrow?
Yeah, Jump Tomorrow.
Areas that you've seen that.
Oh, come on,
And
man. I like,
that's great.
okay, so I don't know. It's a very small movie, and
Sure.
and everyone that I have recommended this movie to loves it. But you are the main character, Jorge. You play a
Sure.
character who's about to get married, but you're in a prearranged marriage,
Yeah.
and you meet another girl that you were falling for. Let
Yeah.
me show people a little bit of this movie. I really do love this movie.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
sure.
going to drive you to Niagara.
What's the party for?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I'm going to drive you to a wedding.
I'm moving to Canada.
Come on, please.
No.
No, come on, please.
No, it's really not necessary. It's no.
Again, love this film. Everyone that I've shown this movie to loves it. That's the first time that I had been introduced to you.
Amazing. Yeah.
Had you been
It's
doing
a
any
really
acting
sweet
before?
movie.
What's that?
What's that?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I was just saying it's a very sweet movie. It's just reminded me that it's really it's a fun watch. It's a nice little it's kind of it's shot in this very like I would say fairy tale style. There's a really a nice poppy sentiment to it, but it's a really sweet movie. And I haven't looked at any of that like probably since then. So it's interesting to see those clips.
How is it watching these clips now since it's been so long?
It's great. I feel like with acting, it's only in the past maybe 5 years that I'll actually watch the thing that I've been in right when it's out or shortly after it comes out, because I don't really watch I don't really see I don't watch myself in things immediately. Just like with our records, I don't listen to them. Like I feel like a couple of TV on the radio records I haven't listened to since we stopped recording them, or I just listen to one or two songs for when we're going on tour to just kind of refresh memory. But seeing that now, I feel like there's enough distance from it that I might actually want to go and watch it again to see what's happening, because it looks great.
No, it is great, man. I again really love that film, and like I said, you're great in it. Was that the
Thanks.
first movie that you were in?
That was the first lead role that I had. But I guess first movie that had been, out in the world. But it was based on a short film that the director had made while we were in school together at NYU. And that was an extension of that. So I was in that film. I think it was like right as I was leaving school, and kind of remembered that was something I liked doing, like while I was there. So I've always loved acting, and that was a great chance to do a feature. So that was the first feature that I was in.
You've had an amazing career between the music and, as you just mentioned, acting. And during that time, you've been in some big films. Again, big properties. Star Wars is no small thing right there. But you've
Right.
also you said you like to collaborate, and musically you've collaborated with legends. David Bowie.
Sure. Yeah.
Trent Reznor you've performed with before. Peter Murphy from Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Again, huge names, big legends.
Lots of goths.
Yes. Something you want to tell us, man? Are you secretly a goth person too?
I don't even know if it's so secretly. I might dress it down, but definitely I got some goth and emo and metal.